Silver and black. And they're off. Ghostly Act is going out for the lead. Silver and black, Johnny Paycheck in between them. Then came Silent Heat in fourth, followed by Bronco Nagurski, California Bay. And an awkward start has Tito's with a twist as the distant early trailer. Into the first turn, it's Ghostly Act just in front, pressed by Johnny Paycheck, who's about a half length back in second. Another 2.5 to Silver and Black in third, followed by Bronco Nagurski, Silent Heat. Then it's California Bay and Tito's with a twist. Down the back stretch, Ghostly Act a half length to Johnny Paycheck, heading toward the half-mile pole. Silver and Black is 3 lengths off the pace in third. Bronco Nagurski, Silent Heat still together in front of California Bay and Tito's with a twist. Into the far turn, Ghostly Act in control this far, leads at a length. Johnny Paycheck comes after him now, and a length back, Silver and Black 3 deep in third. Silent Heat, Bronco Nagurski right together. A gap of 4 to California Bay and Tito's with a twist. Ghostly Act, Johnny Paycheck, Silver and Black, Silent Heat, Bronco Nagurski along the inside. Silent Heat bothering Bronco Nagurski as the field turns for home in the center of the course. Here's California Bay closing in. California Bay, big strides up on the outside of Silver and Black and runs to the front. And it will be California Bay pouring it on late. Strong stretch kick from California Bay, opening up to win it by almost 4 lengths. Second is Silver and Black just in front of Silent Heat. Then it was Ghostly Act and between Bronco Nagurski and Tito's with a twist. In the gate. And they're off. Bella Ranella gets the first call, immediately joined by Indy Star, who takes the lead. She's a Girly Girl, 2 off the pace in third. Flat Out Joy is fourth, now third. And at the rail, Henny's Crazy Train. Indy Star, Bella Ranella will duel to the half-mile pole, pursued by Flat Out Joy in hand and tugging from third. Another 3, Henny's Crazy Train on the inside of She's a Girly Girl. Rounding the far turn, Indy Star pokes ahead in front. Bella Ranella asked to respond, but now a half length behind. Flat Out Joy looming in third. 3 more. She's a Girly Girl and Henny's Crazy Train. Quarter to go. Indy Star to catch. Has it a half length. Bella Ranella second. 2 more. Flat Out Joy, and then She's a Girly Girl. And Bella Ranella is resurgent along the inside. Coming back. And now pulling away from Indy Star and all the rest. Bella Ranella, very sharp, will outclass this field. Bella Ranella sprints clear to win it by 5 widening lengths. Indy Star held second. She's a Girly Girl and Flat Out Joy. Extras. Acting up. And they're off. Time to party. Here comes Cane Creek Road, though, and Cane Creek Road will establish the pace. Red Line, a clear-cut second. Time to party in third. Then Fantastic and Spirit Maker is at the back of the field. It's Cane Creek Road going into the first turn, 2-length lead. Red Line is in second. Then Time to Party in third. Followed at the rail by Spirit Maker, who's 4 lengths off the leader. And Fantastic is settled at the back. They swing on to the backstretch, and it's Cane Creek Road, left alone up top, 2-length advantage. Red Line second, Time to Party inches up on the outside. Then Spirit Maker, 4 lengths off the lead, and 3/4 to Fantastic. They're heading to the half-mile pole, chasing Cane Creek Road. Loose on the lead. 2.5 length cushion on Redline, who's been second the whole way. And Time to Party just outside of him, yet to be called on. At the rails, Spirit Maker and Fantastic inches up, takes fourth. Cane Creek Road, 3-length lead. Time to Party clearly into second as Fantastic takes third. Redline a weakened Ford, Spirit Maker at the back, turning for home, and here's Time to Party. Time to Party with a sustained run after Cane Creek Road, right up to him, and stretch running Fantastic is coming in the center of the course, needs to straighten up to catch Time to Party, and Cane Creek Road, who are head and head. Fantastic set down now, and here's Fantastic with a furious stretch kick to win it going away. Cane Creek Road, Time to Party third. Buck Owens coming up. Country Boy to the outside. They're in the gate. They're off. Even start, Stand for Malibu and Reef City are the first two out of the gate. Here's Tom Horn now coming through to challenge, and Tom Horn is on even terms with Stand for Malibu as they get to the main track. Montana, a length and a half off the top pair in third. The gray is Buck Owens in fourth, about 3 lengths off the lead. Then comes Reef City, and Country Boy is at the back of the field. Half mile left to go. Tom Horn snugly in hand. Stand for Malibu a half length back in second. 3 more Montana on the inside of Buck Owens. Then it's Reef City, 6 off the lead now, and Country Boy outside of him. 3 by 2, rounding the far turn. And it's Tom Horn leading by a head. Stand for Malibu keeping pace. They'll arrive at the quarter pole together. Buck Owens trying to come after the top pair, 3 wide. Montana is just inside of him. They're at the top of the stretch. Tom Horn, Stand for Malibu. Tom Horn digging in at the rails. Stand for Malibu alongside. They've been together throughout. Buck Owens, though, is coming with a dangerous bid. Buck Owens closing in on Stand for Malibu, who has the lead. Buck Owens, good momentum at the 16th pole, runs on by. And it's going to be Buck Owens under Diego Herrera to win it convincingly. Stand for Malibu, second best. Tom Horn, third, then Montana. We're in the gate. And they're off. Turquoise Bikini is going to the front. Avis Storm on the outside's a little bit quicker. And Encolpion in the red colors on the comeback is up close too. Another 2 back to La Paloma Blanca, followed by Miss Polo Bar, racing about 5 lengths off the lead. Then Free and Humble and Unkept Secret at the back. Avis Storm is the leader by about a length, and Colpian coming through along the rail in a tad tight, and Turquoise Bikini now reclaims second. La Paloma Blanca between rivals. Miss Polo Bar, 3.5 off the pace. Then it's Free and Humble, and still at the back is Unkept Secret. Ava's Storm has been the controlling speed, a length and a half in front, chased by Turquoise Bikini in second. Miss Polo Bar claims third, moving up to be a joint second. Free and Humble coming with a wide bid, and Colpian at the rail. Turquoise Bikini between, a furlong out. Ava's Storm, 2-length lead. On the outside, Free and Humble continues to rally under a very confident hand ride, and Free and Humble is up to take the lead and wave goodbye. Free and Humble, clearly best, strides out to score by 3. Ava Storm just holds second, and Colpian was resurgent. Behind that, it was a photo between Miss Polo Bar and Unkept Secret. Pick 5, $1,000.50. Everly's Girl to the outside. Walks in at odds of 5 to 2. And they're off. Even start. Spoiled Rotten comes through quickly now and is vying for the early lead. Soul Sweet comes away in second. Everly's Girl, Yellow Sleeves on the outside, a joint third. Down at the rail, Roman Empress, Roses Are Blue, is now moving up on the outside quickly to be within a length and a half of the pace. Roman Empress now second to last, just in front of Charlotte Harbor. Down the backstretch, and it's Spoiled Rotten just in front. Pressed by Soul Sweet second. Everly's Girl a length and a half off the pace in third, followed by Roses Are Blue, now losing a little bit of ground. Roman Empress and Charlotte Harbor in between them. 3 furlongs to run. Spoiled Rotten to catch. Leads it by about a neck. Soul Sweet trying to get by second. Everly's Girl still in hand, inching up a closer third. Roman Empress is down at the rail in the white, has 3 lengths to make up with a quarter of a mile to run. Roses Are Blue will be caught 4 or 5 wide there at the top of the stretch. And Soul Sweet on the outside of Spoiled Rotten. They're head and head. Soul Sweet, Spoiled Rotten. On the outside here, Charlotte Harbor coming with a nice late bid. Soul Sweet, Charlotte Harbor. These are the two. Soul Sweet, Charlotte Harbor surging on the outside. Charlotte Harbor with the momentum and the victory. That's 2 for Juan Hernandez. Soul Sweet second, Spoiled Rotten, Everly's Girl. And they're off. Professor's Pride bounces out very quickly, but it's Teen Drama who's up to take a narrow lead as they come to the dirt. And it is Teen Drama leading it by just ahead. Ice Queen comes through along the inside to challenge, and Professor's Pride is outside of that pair. Professor's Pride is back in front. Gritty Girl in the red, 3 lengths off the lead, followed at the rail by Ice Queen, and She's Got Away is just in front of her at this stage. M is for Magic. Palio's Princess is down at the rail, and it's a length back to Real Fire. Fairly compact into the far turn. Professor's Pride on the outside of Teen Drama. Then She's Got Away between horses, Ice Queen at the rail, and Gritty Girl 3 deep. It's a length and a half to M is for Magic. Palio's Princess has 4 to make up, and Real Fire continues to trail. They're coming to the quarter pole. Teen Drama, Professor's Pride on even terms. She's Got Away is coming after them, now with a 3 wide bid. And out in the center, a sudden move from Real Fire joining the party. There's an eighth of a mile to go. She's Got Away. Real Fire on the far outside with a sustained bid, and Real Fire is up to take the lead with a 16th to go. M is for Magic on the scene, but it's Real Fire. Real Fire, big move under Umberto Rispoli to score. M is for Magic was second. She's Got Away third. Photo fourth between Palio's Princess and Teen Drama. On June 3rd and 4th, we'll present a Happy Dragon Boat Festival celebrating the Dragon Boat Weekend with family fun entertainment, cultural shows, food vendors. And they're off. My Man Bags and Fast Per Se will duel through the opening furlong. Established comes away fourth. Gold Crusher just in front of him, and Chasing Fame is at the back of the field. 5/8 to run. Fast Per Se leads the way, pressed at the rail by Gold Crusher. My Man Bags gets a perfect tracking trip in third. Then it's Established fourth, 3 lengths off the lead, 2 clear of Chasing Fame. Heading into the far turn, Gold Crusher, ridden hard on the inside, but Fast Per Se is a little faster. And My Man Bags now makes his move. And My Man Bags up to take the lead from Fast Per Se. Gold Crusher losing ground steadily. Established moving up on the outside to take third. And the gray is Chasing Fame, a quarter of a mile to go. And My Man Bags the one to catch. Established takes up the chase in second, and Chasing Fame in the center. There's an eighth of a mile to go, and My Man Bags running strongly. Established 2 behind, and then 5 to Chasing Fame. It's My Man Bags. Here's a triple for Juan Hernandez. My Man Bags cruising home. 3 lengths when the smoke clears. Established second, long way to chasing fame, and then Gold Crusher. Joe Dandy to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off. Slight bobble for So I'm Told, who does recover immediately. 34 Coop is up and on the pace, and Overrule is close up. 34 Coop will be in front early on. They're crawling through the stretch the first time. Overrule alongside second, and just behind them, So I'm Told. Golden Eye is down at the rail under a stranglehold in the early going. Keen to Go, Derecho Dandy widest of all. Talus is just behind this group, has about 3 or 4 lengths to make up, and 2 more to Birth of Cool. Rounding the first turn, and it's 34 Coop. Narrowly in front, Overrule and neck back in second. Down at the rail, Golden Eye is only 2.5 lengths off the lead. Keen to Go with the white and orange cap, moving up in the white blinkers now to take third as they swing on to the backstretch. Derecho Dandy is caught about 3 wide and about 4 lengths off the speed as they run down the backstretch. And just in front of him comes So I'm Told. Then comes Talus toward the back of the field, and it's another couple back to Birth of Cool. They have a half-mile left to go, and it's 34 Coop dictating terms. Been there every step of the way, leads 3/4. Now it's a length and a half as 34 Coop starts to sprint for home. Overrule is asked to come back for more in second. Down at the rail, Golden Eye with So I'm Told. Keen to Go. Derecho Dandy is 4 lengths off the lead while 4 wide. Talus is now looking for racing room. He's got some run, finding a seam, one from the rail as they reach the top of the stretch. Birth of Cool in behind him. It's still 34 Coop, but here comes Talus on the outside, and there's room for Golden Eye, who's been waiting for it for a while, and Birth of Cool on the outside. Talus, Birth of Cool, Golden Eye on the outside. Birth of Cool storms on by, and Birth of Cool caps off a huge day for Juan Hernandez. Golden Eye second, Talus third. Then it's a battle among 34 Coop, Keen to Go, and So I'm Told.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is a gorgeous day in the neighborhood. On behalf of everyone here at First Racing, I'd like to welcome you to Quigley's Corner, right here at the Great Race Place at Santa Anita Park. As they say in the Broadway musicals, the role of Quigley's Corner will be played today by Peter Lurie. I'm filling in for Tom Quigley, a little under the weather, so TQ, please take care of yourself and come back real soon. Very, very fortunate today for me to be with two gentlemen. If you are a horse player, I'm sure you know both of these guys. They are well-known handicappers. They have also been recent inductees into the NHC's Hall of Fame, which is there's not a lot of them in there, but it's my absolute pleasure to welcome Jose Arias, who's known around the world as champion, and the gentleman to the outside I've never met before. This is Dennis DeCower, known as Big D. He was also the former managing partner of Black Diamond Racing, which was a little group that he and I and a gentleman named Don Beardsworth had for about 20 years. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, you guys have been around for a long time. Dennis, we're going to start with you. Just like when Dean Martin came back to Jerry Lewis in the telethon, you come crawling back. Thank you so much for being with us.
Can't keep away from you. The attraction is just too strong.
Hey, Dennis, you've done this for a while. In fact, we've talked about this before. You were a runner-up, not once but twice in the competition. A lot of people have told me over the years, you can win and be really good. You can win and it can be a fluke. But to be runner-up 2 years in a row, you have to know what you were doing. What was going through your mind on both those?
Well, officially I was a runner-up once, but with the playing partner that I've had for many, many years, our former Black Diamond partner, back-to-back years we finished second. First time, more than thrilled to finish second because we were distanced by the winner that year, Richard Goodall. The next year, when I finished second, I had the lead going to the last race. A gentleman by the name of John Conti, Lord rest his soul, played with a magnifying glass about this big, and somehow he scoped out a $40-some horse in the last race and came from 11th place to pass me. That was disappointing. Finishing second that year, I have to say, was disappointing. In addition to a difference of $350,000 between first and second, it's a difference between being the champ and being Big D.
Yeah.
But that's horse racing.
You've always said to me over the years, and I'm paraphrasing, when it comes to these tournaments, which I've never played before, it's a little out of my realm. I'd love to try, but a little out of my realm. You've always said, I'm going for it. I'd rather win or be last than be someone in the middle of the pack. Do you still feel that way?
Well, I think you have to be aggressive is the real mode to be in there. I think that if you have a zero at the end of 2 or 3 days of play, or you finish one spot out of the money, there's no difference. And I personally don't feel any shame or embarrassment if I'm in last place or I'm in the first place out of the money. You're playing to win, and certainly you're all playing to cash, and you have to be aggressive when you do that.
Yeah. Jose, let's talk about you. You and I, we've known each other for a number of years. You're an aggressive gambler also, but you got to the top of the mountain. What was that like? Take us through those moments.
Wow, it was the greatest experience I've had. In 2014, I was fortunate enough to win the National Handicapping Championship. I only won by about $1, a little bit over $1, the championship. So it was very close. I had to sweat out payouts, right? The winning mutual for the winning horse because I didn't have them. And I was fortunate enough to everything lined up so that I ended up winning by $1. When I came in second last year, I also was leading into the final race, only about $1 or so ahead. So I had to pick a winner. So in that situation, I ended up losing and finished second. So I still am very happy to come in second. I'm very happy to have won, and it's been the greatest experience of my life.
Hey, as far as the hall, I'm calling it the hall now, the NHC Hall of Fame. There's only, and tell me, Dennis, if I'm wrong, it's about 23 people that have actually accomplished this. This is a huge thing for bettors, not only here, but all around the world. This is a worldwide tournament every year.
Well, I think, the hall was established, I think, about 10 years ago or close to it. And, there's only to date, there's 23 people that have been inducted. And I think that Jose and I are the first two from Southern California. If my memory serves me correctly, I think we're the first two from Southern California to have been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
When you got the call, and we always say about ball players, when you got the call that you're in, how did it feel? What went through your mind?
I said, yeah, it's cool, man. I had been nominated 3 or 4 times before, and I was starting to sweat that I was going to have to go to the Veterans Committee at some point in time. But when I got the call, it was like, wow, I'm thrilled, honored.
I mean, your son obviously is going in your footsteps. He's been there before. A lot of our friends, Tom Noon, a lot of folks over the years are with you. And, of course, Don Beardworth. Don, if you're watching, man, we love this guy. To me, you two and Jose here, some of the sharpest handicappers I've ever seen. Jose, when you got the call, what did you had a feeling it was coming, or was this a complete surprise?
Well, what my understanding is they had voted for me the previous year, and there was quite a bit of support I had from my fellow horse players. So I ended up the second year. I thought, oh, okay, I had enough votes. So, and it's a true honor to be honored like this by a fellow horse player and by the group of people that end up voting for you. So I thought it was the greatest honor. I think I said my words were awesome to when I heard.
Gentlemen, when you're playing in a tournament, and like I said, I've never done it because it's a completely different animal. Do you approach it differently? I would assume you would from your normal handicapping. Dennis, we'll start with you.
Well, largely, yes. I mean, the way the tournament is structured now, you have 18 plays on each of the first 2 days, and then there's a cut made to the top 10% of the players. So while you're always looking for horses most likely to win a race, you really have to look for somewhat value plays. I mean, we know that 20-1 long shots aren't going to win all the races, but many of the races are won by horses that pay $10, $12, $16. And ideally, you're looking for those at least mid-range horses that you can find that can win races, the occasional long shot. And maybe every once in a while, you'll look for the likely winner and a favorite in a mandatory race that everybody has to play. But I personally try to play to a final score over the 2 days, knowing if I achieve that level, I'll move on to the next round.
Jose, real quick, if you're getting down to the nitty gritty and you're saying to yourself, do I want to win or do I want to be in the money? If I want to win, I got to play something that I would never play. Has that come to you before?
No, usually I play horses that I think have a shot to win. If it's just value, I'm not going to pick it. It has to be something that I think has a legitimate shot of winning the race. So that's what I'm going to do. To give you an example, I was when I finished second, I played a favorite at Golden Gate, and but it was like a mild favorite, maybe 5-2 shot or whatever. But I played it. It's just because when I looked at all the horses, I go, this is the one that I think will win. And sure enough, I was fortunate enough to win, and I moved back into second place going into the last race.
Very exciting, gentlemen. Listen, we're going to get more into this. We're also going to test your skills in just a few moments. But first things first, for our players who are watching out there, Frank Miramati has the changes. Frank?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place. Here are the early changes. There are no scratches, just a bunch of overweights. First race starts the 50-cent early pick 5, blinker note on number 3. Second race overweights 2 plus 3 and 4 plus 1. In the third, no changes. Fourth starts the Rainbow 6, carryover $23,294. Number 7 carries 1 pound over. No changes in race 5. By the way, there is a super high 5 carryover of 6,900, as noted just now, in race 4. No changes in the 5th. Nothing in the 6th. Overweights in the 7th, 1 and 5 each carry 1 pound over. 8th is the Grade 2 Summertime Oaks. Start of the Golden Hour, pick 4. No changes. 9th race overweights 5 plus 3, 7 plus 2, and 10 plus 1. Those are the changes on today's card. Enjoy your day here at Santa Anita Park. Lots of activities going on. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner. Peter Lurie filling in for Tom today. His special guests, Jose Arias, Dennis DeCauer, both of whom recently inducted into the NTRA National Horse Player Championships Hall of Fame. Peter, Champ, and Dennis coming up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miramati. And by the way, just on a side note, Frank Miramati, one of the best in the business. Santa Anita, very fortunate to have him behind the mic.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, let's get right into it. We got a 9-race card. As you saw, we have overweights, but not a lot of scratches. The turf course today rails out at 10 feet. Real quick, gentlemen, does that affect? Dennis, I always say if it's 30 feet out, it's going to be speed bias, but 10 feet, I don't really see that much of a difference.
Yeah, and for the most part, most of the field sizes today aren't especially large. So I think that the rail position is going to be pretty much irrelevant to speed or who wins. I think you can look and if you think the best horse doesn't have speed, I think that horse is still going to have every chance to win the race.
All right. Gentlemen, let's just get you right into this. Dennis, you'll be first, 6.5 furlongs, not on the hillside, on the flat, completely different race, for an option claiming 50. How'd you see it?
Well, first off, 6.5 down the hill is by far my favorite race. But having said that, I do love turf sprints. And this particular turf sprint here has a 5-pack, and a 6-pack. And I think if the 4-horse breaks at all, the horse should win the race. I think it's the best horse in the race. The workouts are sharp. And again, as I said before, I think the best horse wins in a situation like this. The 4 is definitely my number 1 pick. If I look for a second horse, the horse that probably makes the lead is the 6, who's also working pretty well. The 6 would be my second choice. But for me, it's number 4 in the first race.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, when you go with the 6 Tiger Run. Red Baron Barn, Rancho Temascal, obviously the patron saint is now passed on to that great racetrack in the sky. So Red Baron Barn will be going away as much. But as Tim Cohen mentioned, Rancho Temascal will keep going. And they're going to be looking more and more with those European horses. It's tough to look away from anything they have.
Yeah, the 6 had a good loose trip last time. I know it was the first race in a long layoff, well over a year layoff, but I thought the horse was pretty flat in the stretch after a really nice loose trip. Looked like it was going to win the race and just couldn't punch it home. Might run a lot better today, but the horse is 0 for 5 on the turf. My first choice again is the 4. I like the jockey, even though I like Hector Barrios a lot. I like the jockey switchback because Rispoli seems to fit this horse well, and that's my top choice in the race for Mandela.
Okay. Second race on the card, 6 furlongs, 32 non-winners of 2 lifetime. This is also going to kick off the early pick 4. Jose, how'd you see it?
You know what? My top choice is Golden Spa, number 4. I thought that last race, Peter, the horse ran very well. He had to kind of like weave in, weave out. I think lost a little bit of ground and momentum there. I think today's the day for this horse to win that non-winners of 2 life of his career. I think, you know, Tiago's been so hot too, man. One of the hottest jockeys that I've seen recently. So he's amazing. So I really like Golden Spa. I think he's the winner. But my second choice is going to be the 3-horse 10th Street Dawn. He finally put it all together last time. Wins easily by 14 lengths. One I put very easy in my notes. So he came in second. I think if he finally figures it out, you know, he didn't go to a regular 16 on 2. He goes to this 32. That shows a lot of confidence in Vladimir Serin and putting him in this race. So the horse is doing well. So that's my choice. The 4, top choice to the 3.
Now, again, when you look at Vladimir Surin, his business really has been picking up. One thing we've noticed a lot, Dennis, in these type of races, a lot of guys are coming over. The Milton Pinedas, the Lorenzo Ruiz coming over from across town over at Los Alamitos, and they've had good luck with this, a nice track record. What do you attribute that to?
I think they're both very good trainers. I'm not so sure that turf is the specialty for either one of those guys, but I think I have no fear whatsoever in betting either one of those guys. I think if you can train, you can train. And sometimes, as we all know, those lower caliber horses require a lot of work because they're lower caliber oftentimes because of the soreness or infirmities that they may have. And these guys do an amazing job working with them. So I think they're both very capable trainers.
Excellent. Third race on the card, Mr. DeCower, 6.5 furlongs again on the turf for an optional 50. So looking at the race, almost identical here. I know you got a horse that you do like, and it looks like you're taking a shot against the favorite.
I am taking a shot against the favorite. The favorite is in here for the claiming tag, and he really didn't have to be in for the claiming tag. Now, it's not a giveaway. It's still $50,000, and that is a lot of money. But my top choice in the race is the 4-horse. So I guess he may actually be the morning line favorite now that I look at it. He's 8-5. Peter Urton has been white hot. The horse has got a good workout report. I think he's coming out of solid races. He's a 5-time winner on the turf, all here at Santa. And I think he's going to be in a good spot to where if he's not on the lead, he's certainly going to be close to it. Maldonado's become a very, very capable rider on the turf, especially in the turf sprints. And he is my number one choice in the race. My second choice actually is a price horse. I know he's coming back for the third time in a relatively short period of time, but it's the 5-horse on the outside. And while he's winless on the turf, the only time he actually sprinted on the turf was back in the bottom race in the form that I have, and it was a pretty reasonable sprint. And I think this is perhaps what he's cut out to do. And I think he may give a good representation of himself today as well. So for me, it's 4-5.
Looks to be in a good spot. You know, you were talking about earlier briefly the 3 Mucho del Oro coming in for that claiming tam. They claimed the horse for $40,000. Now, granted, they've had it for a while. That was back in November of 2021. But to me, I look at it and I say, well, it's not like they're giving the horse away either. So I kind of agree with you on that one.
Yeah, but the condition of the race is such that if they've started for a claiming price of 50 or less anytime since the first of 2021, they don't have to go in for the tag. Mm-hmm. And so, again, it's not a giveaway, but he could be in this condition without being in for the tag.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where it develops at this point. Third race, we just saw the 4th race coming up, 6 furlongs, maiden claiming 20. Jose, I like to call this the bread and butter of the maiden claiming ranks, these maiden 20s, fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. A lot of people look and say, well, it's the bottom. But really, if you think about it, this is the level that most of these horses should be in. Simple as that.
Right, exactly. And when I look at this race, I see Nansigna. This is the level. They tried going to the 50,000 claiming rate. They probably thought they had a turf horse. They tried that, didn't quite work out. Now they're going back to the dirt. I like that figure that the horse posted when it ran on the dirt last time. They've only lost by a nose, and possibly if it doesn't hit the gate, he probably would have won the race. So I see a horse that probably would have won this normal races there. Gets a little time. Now comes back as a 4-year-old filly. And I think this horse is the most logical horse. The horse is 3-1, has a pretty decent speed figure for me. So it's enough for me to, especially I think there's going to be an improvement as these fillies mature from their 3-year-old to their 4-year-old. So I'm expecting an improvement there. So my top choice is number 2 horse, Nansigna. My second choice is the 6 horse, Money Baby. Money Baby is also a 4-year-old filly, has been working well. A couple of clockers really liked the workout. The horse was a little off slow, not much. I looked at the stuff, so it wasn't much, but it was still enough for that level. So you go from a maiden optional 40 race to the maiden 20. This is where I think this horse belongs, and I think this is going to make this horse be competitive. So I like the rates 2-6.
We're seeing more, Jose, recently. Okay. More times. You never used to see horses claimed out of maiden claiming races. You just didn't. Once in a blue moon. We're seeing a lot of that now. Are you in favor of it? Do you look at it from a handicapping standpoint and say, I don't know, man, this horse got claimed out of the race?
And you know what? When I look at claiming, I just like people being involved at the claiming window because that shows more interest, more people wanting to get involved in horse racing. So I don't see it as a negative. I see it more as a positive. Now, the fact that they may be claiming maiden 20s, hey, there's some decent purses, non-winners of 2, non-winners of 3, condition claimers. Some people could see, and maybe they develop this horse. They see something that they think they could improve on. I could see that and maybe winning a first condition allowance, especially if they're Calbreds. So for me, I think it's I think it's strong actually when somebody goes in there for a 20.
Dennis, you and I spent a long time in the claiming ranks, and people would always wonder why you put your horse back for the claiming ranks. You and I have always been of the opinion that if your horses are being claimed, it usually means you're in the right spot.
Yeah. I'd also like to piggyback on one of the things Jose said. As you know, Pete, we had some pretty good success, sometimes with maidens and sometimes with open claimers, but especially with Calbreds that had their Calbred allowance condition available to them. And we were fortunate to have quite a bit of success claiming something and moving it into the Calbred allowance ranks and picking up a big purse. And the purses are still pretty strong in those Calbred conditions. Sometimes it could be tough to do it with a bottom level claimer, but you get a little away from the bottom and it's not that big a jump at all to go into that first level Calbred condition.
More times than not, it's just being creative.
It is.
Which we had a lot of fun with over the years. Moving on to the 5th race on the card. This is the late pick 5 at 1.125 miles on the turf and non-winners of one other than. You and I are pretty much in the same boat, although we're flip-flopping. Outside horse, Reckless Spirit for Phil D'Amato. It's always tough to ever look away from a Phil D'Amato horse on the grass.
Yeah, and obviously the 1.125 miles on the turf at Santa Anita is unique in that it starts on the dirt. But I think unlike when that one turf sprint that starts on the dirt, here there's a lot of time to make up for whatever may occur as you start on the dirt. Again, with a 5-pack, I don't think there's a particular disadvantage to anyone. I look here, and my top choice in the race is the 5 horse, and my second choice is the 4. Both, excellent trainers with the turf. Phil D'Amato on the 5, Pete Urton on the 4. The 5 horse, I thought, did have some trouble last time. Definitely swung way wide, turning for home last time. Top rider, JJ Hernandez, stays with the horse, coming back second off of a short layoff. I think it's the horse to beat in the race. He's a 4-time winner. I gave that a lot of credence over the 4 horse, who's only a 1-time winner. I think the 4 is more than capable. The race 2 back against Exalted. We know how good Exalted is. That may have been Exalted's first time on the turf that day. Exalted could be a future superstar on the turf. This horse ran a decent race to him, came back and ran a nice race last time. I still lean to the 5 over the 4.
When you look at a horse like 7 Wonders, the 4 horse, got speed, small field, do you worry about that as much as maybe in a larger field when you got a horse that might be dictating the front?
Well, I don't know that the 4 is even going to make the lead in this race. I kind of think that the 3 horse might make the lead in this race with Cedillo. I know Cedillo loves to send, probably more than Rispoli likes to send. And he's gone to the lead in many, many of his races here, as well as at Kentucky Downs, down at Del Mar. I think the 4 would probably be tracking the 3 in the race. Again, small field, I think it's a little bit less important. Speed is always dangerous.
Of course.
But I think it's a little bit less important because horses aren't going to get clogged up somewhere in the pack. They can make a little bit of an earlier run. And I think the best horse will prevail.
All right. 6th race we turn on to. It's the late pick 4, one of my favorite wagers of the afternoon. And Champ, we're giving it to you again. 20,000, non-winners of 3 lifetime, 6 furlongs. I know you live for these, so I'm not upset at all handing this one to you. Susie Q's brother, the 2-1 morning line by Mr. John White for Mark Glatt and Kyle Frey. How'd you see it?
My top choice is Susie Q's brother. That last race won fairly easily and hailed the forward, the comments on the daily racing form. And I thought this was the best horse in the field. The horse been running against much tougher, in my opinion. So I think this is the right level, and the horse hasn't won 3 races, so they're trying to do that. So that would be my top choice. My second choice is the 6 horse, Curly Isa. Curly Isa also, I think, is a horse that's on the improve. And if you notice this last time, it won at 12-1. It didn't get much respect at the windows, but ended up running very well and won the race. I thought that race, is competitive in this field. So I'm getting 8-1. I hope to get 8-1. We might get like a little bit. It might get bet a little bit, but I think the 6 horse has a shot to win. And at an 8-1 morning line, I really like it. So I like both the 2 and the 6.
What's your thoughts? We were talking about the Los Al barns, some of them coming over here, and they've had some pretty good success. We're also seeing now with the completion of the meet down in Arizona and Phoenix over Turf Paradise, we're seeing a lot of the barns coming back over here. I've been talking to several of the trainers, some of the riders, and they're giving the indication they're going to be sticking around for the Del Mar meet. What is your thought when you are including the Turf Paradise runners who have been there all season long now here in Southern California?
You know what? I always try to see, okay, what's prompting this move? Is it because what track is closing and they just need another place to go? I try to take a look at that. But let's just say we get these horses in. Hey, I love the idea of bringing more horses from around, because a lot of people think Southern California is an island of racing. So I like the fact that we're getting these shippers from Arizona. We're getting the shippers from Golden Gate, from the fairs, from Los Alamitos at night. All of those, I think it makes it more competitive races. I love seeing the competition aspect of it and bringing all these horses in bigger field size, which in my opinion equates for a better race. So that's what I think.
And all I can say to anybody out there, if you got horses around the country, we're very friendly. Our arms are open. Come on in.
Absolutely.
We'd love to see you.
I would agree that we need to get the horse population up here. And the Turf Paradise trainers, I mean, they easily could take their horses to Canterbury or to Emerald,
which a lot of them do.
And it's essentially a lateral move for them to do that. The horses that come here, if the trainer's pretty sharp, then I'm comfortable betting him if I think the horse fits in a race. Now, some of them may be here taking a one-stop visit here before the fair circuit starts up in Northern Cal, because many of them honestly might fit better in the fair circuit up there than they do here. But again, if it's a sharp trainer, I have no hesitancy in betting a horse.
Manny Ortiz, who's been bringing horses over here the last couple of years, saw him yesterday. He had 2 horses in one of the races. They both ran very competitive. I asked him about that very point, and he said, no, we're sticking around, and we're heading to Del Mar, and I applaud him for that.
Right. And you have horsemen like Quinn Howie or Jeff Metz. I mean, they're more than capable of winning a race here.
Absolutely. Dan McFarland, come on down, buddy. We want to see it. Let's get the 7th race on. 6.5 furlongs on the turf. Again, this is on the flat for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds here. Dennis, again, we've got some horses with very little experience coming in, and I know you. If in a race like this, you're going to take a shot with a price.
I am going to take a shot with a price. I felt like a chalk master here the early part of the day, and anybody that knows me knows that's not who I am. It's nice to have a little bit bigger field. We're back on the 6.5 on the flat here, and I'm looking to an invader that's had a few months off. This 3-horse for Tim Yakteen is coming out of an extremely live race at Gulfstream. There were 3 next out maiden special weight winners coming out of that race. Horse was off slow and kind of ran even around the track, which has long been something that catches my eye. Horse breaks a little better today. It puts in that even run. It could be enough here. The horse worked recently on that May 22nd work, a best work over a recent winner. I believe it's pronounced Ryquist. Ryquist popped the other day, I think on Memorial Day, at about a double-digit price, maybe a $40 price, and won for fun by like 7 or 8 lengths off of a layoff for Tim Yakteen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for this horse to run big today. By the way, this is a condition for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, which is a relatively new condition they've been riding here in Southern California. This particular race happens to be all 3-year-olds. Every horse in here is a 3-year-old. The 3 is my top choice for all the reasons I just stated. The 2 horse is actually my second choice in the race. I like the jockey switch on the 2, and the horse that ran 6th in that race came back and won at a big price for Dave Hoffman's on Memorial Day, going 1.1 miles on the turf. And so for me in this race, it's 3-2. So looking for my first price horse of the day.
Petkoff, the 3, of course, for owner George Sharp. George Sharp is one of those owners here in Southern California now. I've met him a couple of times. He's a good guy, great sense of humor, loves racing, and we need more guys like this in the industry.
Sounds like he's a sharp owner, Pete.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's one for Mr. DeCower.
Yeah.
Ding. Let's go to the 8th race. This one is a very, very interesting race coming up here. Mile and a 16th on the main track, the Grade 2 Summertime Oaks. Got a couple of horses, got some new shooters coming in. The rail trip for Chris Davis. Davis has been here for the week, so this horse has had some experience over the oval at least.
Okay. Well, my top choice in the race.
Okay.
My top choice is Window Shopping. Actually, Window Shopping.
Go with it.
One of the horses that had a lot of trouble the first time it ran here, the first time ever, when it went long going a mile, sandwich at the start, traffic, completely horrible. And the horse still ran on, ran decently, right? And mid-pack effort, lost by 4 lengths. Comes back, breaks his maiden by 16 lengths, runs easily, just striding out, gear, pretty much geared down. So I just thought the horse was just amazing. Then they go, okay, we have something. Let's put it in the Grade 2, the Santa Anita Oaks. Once again, had about 6 lengths worth of trouble, checked hard, stopped, rallied back, and still almost beat And Tell Me No Lies, which is in the same race. So for me, this was the 2 horses, had the best race in summertime in the Santa Anita Oaks. And that's my top choice. I don't think we'll get 5-1. I think we're going to get somewhere around 7-2, maybe 3-1, just because I know a lot of people would have seen that, and what a great effort that horse had. And I think with a much better trip, it could win. And we're getting 5-1. My second pick is the 1 horse. Christopher Davis brings this horse out there. I thought that race, the Kentucky Oats, was a really good race. I was the racing for didn't call it, but it was kind of awkward and off slow as the horse came out during the Oaks, and I thought ran a really good race against that field. So was let go at the windows, also 30-1, currently 5-2 morning line today. But yeah, I look at this race. The 2 is my top choice, then the 1.
All right. Hey, Dennis, real quick, I know you didn't really look too much into this race, but when you look at a horse like And Tell Me No Lies, yes, the Kentucky Oaks race, very disappointing. I don't know if they were expecting a lot at 45-1, but to be fair, that horse was completely eliminated at the start of the race. What is your take when you see a horse go for the big one, have something like that happen, and then they come back to their home track? Is this a horse you can play, or do you just sit back and say, I want them to prove to me they're okay?
Oh, I think this horse is definitely a contender in this race. I mean, there's enough races there that tell me this horse can fit. Comes out of a common race on April 8th with Window Shopping. Both horses had some trouble, although I do agree with Jose that the 2's trouble in the race was considerably more than what the 3 had. You have to respect Peter Miller. I mean, he's always dangerous with any horse that he has. And I think that I wouldn't be shocked if that horse ran a big race. One caveat I have with these young horses, until I see, some of them run their better races with Lasix, some have run without Lasix. This is a race with no Lasix. I probably look to the horses that have already shown me something without Lasix first. Mm-hmm. But a lot of horses that, they run with it or without it, but I do like to see the horses that have run a really good race without it.
Okay. Before we go any further, I just want to say a round of applause for all of you at home for being with us. Round of applause for these guys. We'll hold for applause. And thank you. Gentlemen, it's been a lot of fun having with you. We got one more for you, Dennis. 1 mile on the turf, 32 open claimers, 4-year-olds and upward. This is also part of that Golden Hour late daily double. Now, the Golden Hour pick 4 is the previous race. Last 2 races at Santa Anita, last 2 races at Golden Gate. This is the last race Santa Anita, last race Golden Gate. I got to tell you, very popular wagers, low takeout. I enjoy them. Real quick before we get to Dennis's picks, what is your thought on these, the Golden Hour?
Both the Golden Hour pick 4 and the Golden Hour is one of the most popular, for me, one of the best bets out here in Southern California. I think it was the home run. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. I think Handle's been pretty well supporting these types of bets.
That's an understatement. It's been huge.
It's been huge, right?
Yeah.
So I love it. I play it. I look forward to it every day.
Dennis, what's your thoughts?
The one thing I would add to that, and I think part of the reason for it is in the pick four, it's a $1 minimum bet, and the double, it's a $5 minimum bet. And I don't want to sound like a horse racing aristocrat, but I believe that some of the things that have really hurt payouts are the 10-cent superfecta and the 50-cent trifecta. And don't get me wrong, I play them occasionally, but I do like the higher threshold on some bets. I think it will build bigger pots, and you'll get bigger payouts. And I think that's a lot of the reason why we've seen such tremendous payouts in these Santa Anita Golden Gate crossover plays.
All right, now look at the camera and say, "You kids, get off my lawn."
You kids, get off my lawn.
There you go. See, was it that difficult? Don't you feel better? Let's get to the ninth and final, again, for the $5 Golden Hour Daily Double. Mile on the Turf, 32 open groups. I've said this before during the meet. I'll say it again. I'm applauding the racing office. It's not an easy task in racing, no matter where you are in the country. New York, Chicago, Kentucky, Florida. It's not an easy job. And I applaud them now for riding more of these 32s, 25s on the grass, because this is what these horses are bred for. They're bred for the grass, and they should have an opportunity to compete.
And I feel like a substitute for Mr. Turf today. My good friend Steve Pollock is known as Mr. Turf. I've got 5 turf races today, so I hope I've done them justice. This particular race is almost a pensioner's race. When I started looking at it, I went back to see if the qualifications were that you had to be 7 or older. There are a couple of horses in the race that are younger than 7, but there's a lot of old-timers in the race. And we tend to find that a lot of times when we get to turf racing, that we'll have a lot of older horses in the race. Having said that, it's, probably the largest field of the day. I think we have 10 in here. And again, I'm looking for an opportunity to at least have a middling price in here. My top pick in the race is the 4-horse Overdue. He's had some trouble at the start in his last couple of races. Definitely had some traffic issues in the last race. I think the horse does have some talent to run. I think the distance will be fine for this horse at a flat mile. He is 2 wins in 3 seconds and 11 starts here at Santa. Workouts have been solid. We get Rispoli back up on the horse, who's run pretty well with him. He's got a couple of wins with this horse, and he is my first choice. I think he'll get a good trip in this race. My second choice in the race, also a bit of a price horse, is the 9. Now the 9, been quite a while since he had his last drink of water at the winning trough, if you will. But I do think he fits pretty well in this spot. He's second off a layoff. He's been working well and comes out of some common races. Overdue only beat him a nose in the last start at Del Mar in the fall. I think he'll be not necessarily on the pace, but I think he'll be attentive to the pace. Jose alluded to earlier that Tiago Pereira has been absolutely on fire at this meet. Probably the best we've ever seen him ride here in the U.S.
Yeah,
and I think he's done very well for Steve Knapp. And so my choices in the race are 4 to win at 9 is my second choice.
Both trainer and rider all having career seasons here, and we applaud both Steve Knapp and Tiago Pereira. Tiago, especially for coming back to Southern California. Gentlemen, that is going to do it for us. Thank you so much, both of you, for your insights. For everyone here at Quigley's Corner, Tom Quigley, TQ, get better.
Feel better, Tom.
Back in the seat, buddy. All right, we got a good card coming up. Thank you so much for being with us. You just saw Quigley's Corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place. Here are the changes. There are no scratches or jockey changes today, just some overweights and blinker notes, including the first, just blinkers off number 3. Second race, overweights, number 2 plus 3 and 4 plus 1. No changes in the third. In the fourth, number 7, Midnight Susie, 1 pound over. There's a $6,900 carryover from yesterday's Super High 5 and a Rainbow 6 carryover of 23,000 plus. Changes in the fifth. No changes in race 6. Seventh race, 1 and 5, each carry 1 pound over. Eighth is the grade 2 Summertime Oak, start of the golden hour, pick 4. No changes. Ninth race, 5 plus 3, 7 plus 2, 10 plus 1. Golden hour double starts with the 9th. Enjoy your day at the great race place. 26 minutes to post for the opener.